people, good morning. This is Shifali and you're watching Mast Musafir. Today is, I believe, day 6 of my trip, if I'm not wrong. Yesterday was day 5. Half the day was spent on a train journey from Bangalore to Chennai. I had my brother with me who then got off midway because his station came. So then I was received by my besties, Sandra and Malu. And now I'm at Malu's place. First we were at Sandra's place. So basically after a whole day of rest and catching up with my girlies, today morning, which is soon going to turn into afternoon, we are ready to set off on our trip. Let's see where we catch you first. Be with me. Bye. But before that, let's go back to last night when we were headed towards my friend Malvika's place, which is a bit on the outskirts of Chennai. This is the part of travel that nobody talks about. Randomly standing in the middle of nowhere with a car that has completely ran out of petrol because somebody forgot to fuel it, but also we were not given complete information. The odometer was wrong. So here we are, stranded in the middle of nowhere. So our friend is coming for a rescue. Fingers crossed. Let's hope we make it alive tonight. Hello to the rescue.
इससे चल जाएगा अगला वाला
ये कितना है लीटर? How much did you pay?
750 ml.
और ये रेगुलर है, X95 है. आजकल नितिन गडकरी इसमें वो एथेनॉल मिला रहा है ना, इसलिए
पूछ ले यार.
अगला चल जाएगा.
How much did you pay?
गाड़ी चल पड़ी ये. Okay. Smile, guys. So next morning we got ready and we had planned to go check out this museum near Chennai. And since we were so dressed up, we thought let's do something fun. Let's make a dance reel, which by the way none of us had done before. And how that ended, well, you will come to know soon. So here I had to mute the audio because things took a bit of a turn and we had to change our plans. Let's just say that during the dancing bit, we were met with an incident due to which we had to ditch our aquarium plans and just sit at home, chill and rest. We didn't mind that either. But anyways, towards the evening, we said our goodbyes to Malvika and Sandra and I drove towards Chennai, planning to visit the Marina beach. Beach, oh, exciting. This was like the first time I saw the sea beach. Also, I was very excited. That was in Kerala, I suppose, in 2020, and that was the first time I saw the sea beach, and I was super excited. And at every nook and corner, at every turn, wherever we spotted even the slightest of sea and sea waters, I would go extremely excited and gaga like, yeah, pani. And I remember Ajay and all his friends were there, and they found it pretty funny. Ooh, look at that. So Marina Beach पहुंचते पहुंचते शाम हो गई थी, and while I was driving parallel to the sea beach, I just felt that how lucky are the people who live in cities or towns that have either access to mountains or B access to the sea or the seashore. I mean, seriously, in cities, in urban areas, we live such boxed up lives, boxed up in our own narrow, small, busy worlds, in our timetables, in our schedules, work, and then college and school. And then we barely have time for our family members. And, everything is so fast paced. But then you live in a city like, say, Chennai, where you have an urban beach. So you can perhaps take a small break from your busy schedule, go to the seashore, feel the sand in your feet, the wind in your hair, the sprinkle of water on your face and get rejuvenated. So yes, I really feel कि वो लोग बहुत खुशनसीब होते हैं जिनके शहर से समुंदर दिखता है. There you can just stare into the infinity beyond the horizon, just stare and look into the nothingness or the vast expanses and just feel one with nature. Just let go of your burdens, feel light, take in deep breaths, and just enjoy the wonderful, marvelous sight unfolding in front of you, be it a sunrise, sunset, or the cool, dark embrace of the nighttime and the sound of the sea waves crashing against the beach. But before hitting the sea beach, we decided to make a stop at the city center mall, which was nearby, in order to park our car because there was barely any parking space. And from there, we were to walk towards the beach. Okay, so us girls had come to the city center mall to park our car, but girls being girls, we ended up doing some shopping. You want to show them the shopping? We'll keep this back in the car and then we'll head to the beach. I'm figuring out we'll probably walk the length of it. Woo! Take a twirl. Yeah. I love the the firecracker. I turned so that I could capture it. कुछ तो फेस्टिवल है आज जो मुझे
It's also a devotional dance.
हाँ that's what let's see what it is. We had a great time on the beach and now it was time for us to go grab a meal. So we are at the Writers Cafe and we are here at my dear friend's suggestion and she has asked me to try their famous hot chocolate. So let's see how that goes. Okay, next up we have this rectangular pizza and they call it the Flammkuchen or something like that, which is the German word for that's the German word for pizza. Rated out of 10. 7. 7 is great. MG Road पे famous
Chicken
bookstore.
boxes, yeah, it's the
I
oldest
wanted
bookstore.
to, but I couldn't.
You can go tomorrow. Egmore में ही है वो भी.
Oh, मैं तो बैंगलोर वाले की बात कर रही थी. Just because you are paranoid doesn't mean they aren't after you. And now it was time for us to head back. Also, no girls trip is complete without a Bollywood jamming session, right? मैं ताको तेरे रहना, मैं ताको तेरे रहना. आगे फ्लाईओवर आएगा, ले लेना. अलग ही जहान है. Hello, people. Good morning. This is Shifani, and you're watching Mast Musafir. Today is the last day of my trip, and tomorrow I head back to Delhi. So right now it's around 10:30 a.m. and I have set off for the city darshan. So I'm on the Green Line metro station, and I'll be getting off at Egmore station. I do have a couple of places planned to visit, so come along. Bye. So I was finally sat in the metro, and here we were crossing the bus terminus. This seemed like an older section of the town, which was like a commercial slash market area. All these tiled roofs area seemed like a very big wholesale market or an industrial area. So correct me if I'm wrong. People who are from there might know better. And then slowly and gradually we moved towards this more urban section with the tall high rises, the commercial buildings, office spaces, and the residential areas where people from all over the country, thousands, the youth come to make a life here for their education or mostly to get jobs, as is the case with most of our metropolitan cities, Chennai, Delhi, Kolkata, Mumbai, Bangalore. So, yeah, in that metro ride, I could almost see the, city life. I could get a gist of the city life of Chennai. And next, we had arrived at my first stop for the day, which was Amethyst. Amethyst, which is basically a very beautifully curated boutique area, and it is like a green oasis in the middle of this, crowded city. So when you're under the heat and sun, you'd want to come here, to, get some respite. And it was a beautifully created artistic space. It was lovely for spending some good quality time over here, exploring art, enjoying good food, and some me time. So, in the Wild Garden Cafe, I tried this Korean bun for the first time and I really liked it. Also, the drink was very refreshing. So, after spending a good amount of me time at the Amethyst, I had arrived at my next destination, which was the Government Museum in Chennai. Now, Government Museum is a big expanse, it's a bit big area, which further has several buildings within it. Each building is acting as a different museum, different kind of museum. So, there's the Children's Museum, and then there's the Art Museum, and so on and so forth. There was also an exhibition, and this building is the main building. This is what you'll find when you'll type Government Museum Chennai. Now, this is the statue of Sir John Herbert Marshall. He was one of the youngest Director General of the Archaeological Survey of India, and he was the one who had announced the discovery of the Indus Valley civilization, or what we have all studied as the Harappan civilization. And this statue was installed here in January this year, 2025, by the Chief Minister M.K. Stalin to mark the 100 years of the discovery of the Indus Valley civilization. And this is important because, of course, we are in the complex of government museum which deals with history, and so this discovery was important also for the Dravidian history, because people were able to find the links between, Tamil antiquities and the Indus Valley civilization. What were the links or the relation? So yes, this is a brief introduction to the government museum, which has a lot more to offer and a lot more to explore and learn from. So be with me. Now, this here, as the name suggests, is the National Art Gallery. This was also, of course, within the Government House complex. Now, this is housed in this building that you see. This building was the Victoria Memorial Hall, whose foundation stones was laid by King George V, who was the Emperor of India, and who was the one for whom the Delhi Darbar was kept in the year 1911. So this, as you can see, was the gallery of contemporary art. So you can see that both historical as well as modern things were housed in this museum complex. This was the children's museum. I must say that most of these museums were a bit run down. They were not very well maintained, and but they were at the same time undergoing renovation. So hopefully it would get better soon. So, no matter how run down these buildings were, they brought back some nostalgia, and it was good to go back in the old days, because this is how museums used to be, quite in contrast with the modern day Museum of Art and Photography, I would say. And this, by the way, was the public library. I liked how this government complex was made. It was very accessible to public. There were a lot of open spaces to sit and to wander around. I saw people eating their tiffin or studying or just walking around. Also, I must say that the ticket was relatively very cheap, just 50 rupees for exploring the entire space with all the museums, all the buildings. You could just go anywhere, see anything, do anything. So it was lovely. Really appreciate it when such accessible open areas are curated by the government at such an affordable price, especially in the center of the city, thus making it people friendly and encouraging people to come out of their houses, spend some time in the midst of history and trees and just life. And just when I thought that my museum trip was over, I chanced upon this live Carnatic session going on inside the museum theater, and oh my god, I got goosebumps. I must say, there's something about our classical Indian art forms, and you know what? I really like that all the artists on the stage were so young. So it's good to see the youth, taking forward our traditions. In fact, it also encouraged me to get back to my Kathak lessons with a, renewed vigor. So sit back and enjoy the music. And after that wonderful, magical musical concert, it was time for me to leave. But before that, I decided to check out the exhibition. And I must say, it turned out to be a pretty good exhibition. And the things were of my liking and taste. The price was pretty reasonable and good. And it also felt like aiding the local vendors. So, yes, as you can see, I was very happy with my purchase, got a lot of things for a lot of my family members, and felt pretty satisfied. On to our next destination now. So, after an entire day of just going around and seeing places, I was really tired, really hungry, and wanted to sit down in a very calm and cool place and enjoy a good meal. So, I came to the Express Avenue Mall, which was the closest mall. It was near in Egmore only. And guess what? There was an international bridge competition going on. Now, I have always heard of this fancy game, but this was the first time I got to see it. And as you can see, it seemed to be a very serious business. And apparently, it was, because the prize money was some crores. So that was cool. And yes, so then I went ahead and grabbed this heavy meal, which was really very heavy, but had to eat it. And then as I came out, the evening was here, the beautiful lights were up, it was almost dusk time, and the entire atmosphere lit up. It was cool and no longer sunny and hot. And yeah, I was enjoying the vibes. And that's how my last day in Chennai ended for me. It was a blast. And now this is from the next morning when I was headed to the airport to fly back to Delhi, Meri Jaan. With this, we had finally landed in Delhi. I was back home. It felt good to be back home. I had a great trip, and on my way back, I was just remembering all the experiences and memories I made. And I was also enjoying the feeling of being back home, seeing the familiar sights. It's a very cozy and reassuring feeling. So, with that, I hope you liked the video and you enjoyed it. It was a great trip, and I was so happy to share it with you. If you liked the video, then do like, share, comment, and subscribe to my channel. See you soon in my next one. Take care. Bye bye.